Picture this, October 7, 2017, Lisbon, Portugal. Thousands of cryptocurrency enthusiasts pack into a massive conference hall, their eyes glued to the stage, waiting for their idol to appear. The woman they came to see was no ordinary entrepreneur, she was the self-proclaimed crypto queen, Dr. Ruja Ignatova. But as minutes turned to hours, the crowd grew restless. She never showed up. What they didn't know was that FBI agents were in that very audience, handcuffs ready. This no-show would spark one of the greatest financial mysteries of our time. The empty stage in Lisbon wasn't just a disappointment, it was the moment the world realized they'd been fooled by a master manipulator. For 3 years, Ruja Ignatova had convinced millions of people across 6 continents to invest in her revolutionary cryptocurrency called OneCoin. She promised them riches beyond their wildest dreams. Instead, she vanished into thin air with $15 billion of their money. But how did a woman with such credentials become the world's most wanted female fugitive? The answer lies in understanding the perfect storm of greed, technology, and human psychology. Dr. Ruja Ignatova wasn't your typical scammer. Born in Bulgaria, raised in Germany, she possessed an impressive resume that would make any parent proud. She held a doctorate from Oxford University, had worked at the prestigious consulting firm McKinsey & Company, and spoke multiple languages fluently. Her academic credentials were real, her intelligence undeniable. She understood complex financial systems and had the charisma to command any room she entered. This combination of brilliance and charm would become her most dangerous weapon in the elaborate deception that was about to unfold across the globe. In 2014, as Bitcoin was gaining mainstream attention, Ruja saw an opportunity that others missed. She launched OneCoin, positioning it as Bitcoin's smarter sister. Her pitch was seductive. While Bitcoin was complicated and volatile, OneCoin would be stable, user-friendly, and profitable for everyone. She promised that early investors would become millionaires when OneCoin inevitably overtook Bitcoin as the world's leading cryptocurrency. The timing was perfect. People were hearing stories of Bitcoin millionaires and desperately wanted their slice of the crypto pie. Ruja was about to give them exactly what they thought they wanted. Ruja didn't just talk about success, she embodied it. At cryptocurrency conferences around the world, she arrived like a movie star. Designer gowns worth thousands of dollars, diamond jewelry that sparkled under stage lights, and an aura of sophistication that commanded respect. She spoke at the most exclusive venues, 5-star hotels in Dubai, prestigious conference centers in London, luxury resorts in Hong Kong. Every appearance was carefully orchestrated to project power, wealth, and success. Her message was clear without saying it directly: invest with me and you too can live like this. Every great con needs the perfect accomplice, and Ruja found hers in Sebastian Greenwood. While she was the brilliant face of OneCoin, Sebastian was the mastermind behind its explosive growth. He brought years of experience in multi-level marketing, having previously worked with companies that used MLM structures to sell everything from health supplements to financial services. Together, they created a hybrid monster, a fake cryptocurrency wrapped in a pyramid scheme, marketed with the sophistication of a legitimate business. It was a combination that would prove devastatingly effective across the globe. Instead of selling OneCoin directly like other cryptocurrencies, Ruja and Sebastian created something more insidious. They sold educational packages, expensive courses that supposedly taught people how to trade cryptocurrencies successfully. These packages ranged from a basic €110 course to premium €18,000 packages for serious investors. Each package came with tokens that could allegedly be converted into OneCoin later. But here's where it got clever. Investors earned commissions for recruiting new people, creating a viral pyramid that spread faster than any traditional advertising campaign ever could. Jennifer McAdam, a Scottish nurse, heard about OneCoin from a colleague and was immediately intrigued. Like many working-class people, she dreamed of financial freedom but felt locked out of traditional investment opportunities. OneCoin seemed different, accessible, promising, and backed by a brilliant woman who understood their struggles. Jennifer invested €10,000 of her savings, then convinced friends and family to join her. Before long, her social circle had poured €250,000 into OneCoin. They trusted Jennifer, and Jennifer trusted Ruja. It was exactly how the scheme was designed to work. OneCoin's tentacles spread across the globe with frightening efficiency. In rural India, farmers sold their land to buy educational packages. In China, factory workers emptied their savings accounts, believing they were securing their children's futures. African families pawned jewelry and sold livestock to invest in Ruja's dream. The beauty of the scheme was its universal appeal. Everyone, regardless of education or income level, wanted to believe they could become cryptocurrency millionaires. Ruja had tapped into humanity's most basic desire, the hope for a better life. Ruja understood that perception is reality in the world of high finance. She bought advertising space in Forbes, Bulgaria, then cleverly twisted this into international publicity. At conferences and in marketing materials, she claimed that Forbes had featured her and recognized her achievements. The implication was clear: if Forbes endorsed her, she must be legitimate. This wasn't technically false, but it was masterfully misleading. Many investors never questioned the details. They simply saw the Forbes name associated with Ruja and felt their decision to invest was validated by one of the world's most respected business publications. By 2016, OneCoin had reached the height of its power, and Ruja decided to prove it with a spectacular show of force. She rented London's iconic Wembley Arena and invited OneCoin investors from around the world to attend. 12,500 people filled the venue, creating an atmosphere more like a rock concert than a business presentation. When Ruja took the stage in a stunning evening gown, the crowd erupted in cheers. She declared with absolute confidence, "OneCoin will be the #1 cryptocurrency worldwide." The applause was deafening. The believers had become disciples. While Ruja dazzled audiences with her charisma, technology experts were starting to ask uncomfortable questions. Every legitimate cryptocurrency operates on a blockchain, a public ledger that records all transactions transparently. But when researchers tried to examine OneCoin's blockchain, they found something shocking: it didn't exist. There was no mining process, no decentralized network, no way for investors to actually cash out their coins. OneCoin wasn't a cryptocurrency at all. It was simply a number in a private database that Ruja controlled completely. The technical foundation of her entire empire was built on lies. Bjorn Bjerk, a Norwegian blockchain expert, became one of the first people to publicly expose OneCoin's technical flaws. Using his expertise in cryptocurrency systems, he methodically dismantled every one of Ruja's technical claims. He published detailed reports showing that OneCoin had no real blockchain, no mining capabilities, and no legitimate way to transfer value. His analysis was devastating and accurate, but it faced a powerful enemy: millions of people who had already invested and desperately wanted to believe they hadn't been fooled. Bjorn's truth was inconvenient, so many chose to ignore it. As OneCoin's popularity grew, so did scrutiny from financial regulators around the world. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority issued warnings about OneCoin's legitimacy. German authorities launched formal investigations into the company's operations. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission began examining whether OneCoin violated securities laws. Each regulatory action should have been a red flag for investors, but Ruja had prepared for this moment. She dismissed all criticism as jealousy from competitors who feared OneCoin's revolutionary potential. Her followers believed her, choosing loyalty over logic. By 2017, maintaining the OneCoin illusion was becoming increasingly difficult. Investors were demanding the ability to cash out their coins, but Ruja kept delaying the launch of the promised exchange where this would be possible. Technical experts continued publishing damaging reports about OneCoin's fake blockchain. Media investigations were exposing the MLM structure as a pyramid scheme. Legal pressure was mounting from multiple countries. The walls were closing in, but Ruja had one final card to play: a disappearing act that would leave investigators, investors, and the media stunned. September 2017 marked Ruja's final public appearance before vanishing forever. She attended a conference in Lisbon, Portugal, where she delivered what would be her last speech to OneCoin believers. To the audience, she appeared confident and in control, promising that big announcements were coming soon. She spoke about OneCoin's bright future and dismissed ongoing investigations as temporary setbacks. But behind the scenes, she knew the truth: law enforcement agencies across multiple continents were coordinating efforts to arrest her. Time was running out, and she had already made her escape plan. In late September 2017, Ruja boarded a private jet in Athens, Greece. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and to anyone watching, it seemed like just another business trip for the busy CEO. But this flight was different. It was her escape route to freedom. The jet's destination remains unknown, as does her current location. What we do know is that she had months, possibly years, to prepare for this moment. She had moved money, established new identities, and created safe havens around the world. When that plane took off, the crypto queen effectively vanished from the face of the earth. With Ruja gone, someone needed to keep the OneCoin scheme running, and that responsibility fell to her younger brother, Konstantin Ignatov. He stepped into the spotlight, assuring worried investors that his sister was simply taking a break due to security concerns. He promised that she would return soon and that the long-awaited OneCoin exchange would finally launch. For months, Konstantin continued collecting money from new investors while paying earlier investors just enough to prevent total panic. He was buying time, but he didn't know that law enforcement was watching his every move. The end came swiftly for Konstantin. In March 2018, he was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport while trying to enter the United States. Faced with overwhelming evidence and the prospect of decades in prison, he made a choice that shocked the OneCoin community. He confessed. In detailed testimony, he admitted that OneCoin was never a real cryptocurrency but rather an elaborate Ponzi scheme designed to steal money from investors worldwide. His confession confirmed what experts had been saying for years, but it came too late for the millions of victims who had already lost everything. As investigators pieced together the full scope of the OneCoin fraud, the numbers were staggering. $15 billion had been stolen from investors across 190 countries. Families had lost their life savings, retirement funds had been wiped out, and dreams of financial freedom had been shattered. The victims weren't just wealthy individuals who could afford the loss, they were teachers, nurses, farmers, factory workers, and retirees who had trusted Ruja with money they couldn't afford to lose. The human cost of her greed was immeasurable and continues to destroy lives today. In 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation took an unprecedented step. They added Ruja Ignatova to their top 10 most wanted fugitives list. She became only the second woman ever to achieve this notorious distinction, joining the ranks of terrorists, murderers, and organized crime bosses. The FBI offered a $100,000 reward for information leading to her arrest, and her wanted poster was displayed in post offices, police stations, and FBI field offices across America. Despite this high-profile designation, she remained as elusive as ever, seemingly having vanished into thin air. Law enforcement agencies across 6 continents coordinated their efforts to track down the missing crypto queen. Interpol issued a red notice alerting police forces in 194 countries to be on the lookout for her. Financial investigators followed money trails through dozens of offshore accounts and shell companies. Cybersecurity experts analyzed digital footprints and communication patterns. Former associates were questioned, family members were monitored, and known safe houses were raided. Despite these massive efforts involving hundreds of investigators and millions of dollars in resources, Ruja remained one step ahead. Where is Ruja Ignatova? This question has spawned countless theories and speculation. Some investigators believe she's hiding in a country with no extradition treaty with the United States, places like Russia, China, or certain Middle Eastern nations where her money could buy protection from local authorities. Others suggest she's undergone plastic surgery to alter her appearance and is living under a completely new identity. There are reports of sightings in Dubai, Athens, and even London, but none have been confirmed. The truth is, with billions of dollars at her disposal, she could be anywhere. One popular theory suggests that Ruja is living in ultimate luxury somewhere in the world, protected by the very fortune she stole. With $15 billion, she could afford to buy citizenship in countries that don't ask questions, hire private security forces, and live in compounds that are impossible to penetrate. Intelligence experts believe she may have purchased several safe houses around the world, moving between them to avoid detection. She could be sipping champagne on a private yacht in international waters, or living in a penthouse overlooking a major city, hiding in plain sight. Former FBI profilers suggest that Ruja may have undergone extensive plastic surgery to completely alter her appearance. With her resources, she could afford the world's best cosmetic surgeons and the most sophisticated procedures available. She could have changed her facial features, hair color, body shape, and even her fingerprints through advanced surgical techniques. If this theory is correct, the woman the world is looking for may no longer exist, replaced by someone completely unrecognizable walking freely among us. Her true identity known only to herself. A more sinister possibility is that Ruja has made deals with criminal organizations or corrupt governments to ensure her protection. In the shadowy world of international crime, $15 billion can buy a lot of friends and favors. She may have information about other financial crimes or corrupt officials that makes her too valuable to turn over to law enforcement. Some experts believe she's being protected by organized crime syndicates who are using her expertise to run other sophisticated financial schemes while keeping her hidden from authorities. While Ruja enjoys her freedom, her victims continue to suffer. Support groups have formed around the world, bringing together people who lost everything to the OneCoin scheme. Many victims have fallen into depression. Some have lost their homes, and several have even committed suicide after realizing their life savings were gone forever. Families have been torn apart by the financial devastation and the shame of having been fooled. The psychological impact of Ruja's crime extends far beyond the money she stole. She destroyed lives, relationships, and faith in the financial system itself. Despite the years that have passed, the search for Ruja Ignatova continues with undiminished intensity. New leads emerge regularly, with reported sightings from around the world. Technology advances are giving investigators new tools to track financial transactions and digital communications. International cooperation between law enforcement agencies has never been stronger, with information sharing happening in real time. The reward for her capture has been increased multiple times, and her case remains one of the highest priorities for financial crime units worldwide. Justice may be delayed, but it hasn't been forgotten. The OneCoin scandal serves as a powerful reminder that even the most sophisticated investors can fall victim to well-crafted deception. Ruja's scheme succeeded because it combined technical complexity with emotional manipulation, targeting people's dreams and fears simultaneously. Her victims weren't stupid or naive. They were hopeful people who wanted to believe in a better future. The tragedy of OneCoin teaches us to be skeptical of promises that seem too good to be true, to verify claims independently, and to remember that charisma and credentials don't guarantee honesty or competence. As we conclude this incredible story of deception, greed, and vanishing acts, one question remains: will Ruja Ignatova ever face justice for her crimes? With each passing day, the trail grows colder, but law enforcement agencies refuse to give up. Somewhere in the world, the crypto queen is living with the knowledge that she can never truly relax, never truly trust anyone, and never return to the life she once knew. She may have escaped with $15 billion, but she's also sentenced herself to a lifetime of looking over her shoulder. The question isn't if she'll be caught, it's when.